Herobrine used to be the scariest myth in Minecraft, but now people on the internet made him into a joke. So today, we're gonna look at every version of Herobrine from the scariest to the most cringe to find out how he got completely ruined. Starting with the first Herobrine. To understand Herobrine, we have to go back to 2010, when Minecraft was still in its alpha stage. On July 31st, 2010, a user named Flacky posted on the Minecraft forums. It told the story of a player mining underground who began to experience strange things. Blocks breaking on their own, torches disappearing, and creepy sounds through the caves. The story took a turn when the player saw two glowing white eyes staring back in the distance. Now, because of this singular photo, people began to share screenshots of foggy forests with a person in the distance, even though the world was single player. Because of this, Herobrine stopped being just a story, but instead he became something for kids to be scared of. These kids are including me. Being 10 plus years old way back when, trying to summon this dude really freaked me out. For this Herobrine, we get to find out what he would be like if he was in real life. This variant is created by Blister Cinema, who honestly did a great job making this film. The film starts off normal. A kid tries to play Minecraft and gets told that there's a new update, but his friend Matt calls telling him not to update the game. The dude then ignores Matt and updates the game anyway, where we then find out there's a realistic mode that has been added, where it gives a real life Minecraft world with trees, empty fields, and a village. For a while, nothing happens. It's just this dude exploring, getting items and such. And then at around the 4-minute mark, it happens. A white-eyed dude appears and the game starts to glitch. This guy, being Herobrine, pushes him and starts throwing punches. To escape, he ran to this villager guy and tried to trade this glowing orb. But he won't give it unless you have something to trade. So he pulls out his wallet from his inventory, giving him $50. Then he freaking pushes the guy and steals the stone sword, using it to hopefully game end the real Herobrine. And now we cut to this part where he sneaks attack him and defeats him. Because of this, his Minecraft game crashed. Now mainly for this Herobrine, he teleports and is kind of haunting this Minecraft world. And if you look closely, he's only really there because of the update. As a kid, I'm not gonna lie, this video scared me so bad. I'm ashamed to admit it as an old guy now, but when this first came out, it was creepy. The overall vibe of the video where the camera gets glitchy, the music makes you feel uncomfortable, and the thumbnail, man, made me think I shouldn't be watching this as a kid. If you were in prime Minecraft, you most likely remember the good old Minecraft parodies, one being Fallen Kingdom. Now in this series, there's actually a whole storyline within it, where Herobrine is a major villain. The first time we see this Herobrine variant is he's sneaking up to a guard, knocking him out. Because of that, he grabbed TNT and blew up this wall, where the castle kept all the hostile mobs. Because of this, all of the mobs starts terrorizing the kingdom. Now everyone is fighting all the mobs, but it was too much to handle. The king here then gets trapped on a spot in the castle, which leads him to jump. For the first video, it kind of just sets up the story and who our main villain is, which is Herobrine. On the next video, called Take Back the Night, we focus more on a certain kid, that being the king's son. We then see this kid surviving the night and where he's under a cobblestone block. These villagers then help the kid, carrying him back to their base, where they give him to this old feller. Now in the scene, the old guy trains the kid to learn how to fight. We go to a sort of time skip with him failing as a kid to now being an adult, being able to throw hands against the old guy, where he was able to finally win against him. Some context is that this kid is actually prophesized to beat Herobrine. So that's why we got this whole training arc. The kid and the old guy go back to the village. And when we come back at the village, they find it being under attack with a bunch of pigmen and a portal that for some reason was put there. Both the old guy and the kid fight off all the goons, except it all badly ends with the old guy getting beat by this big pigman guy. The kid beats him and takes the map from his sensei. Now that map leads him to Herobrine in this universe, aiming to beat him. Hopefully eventually avenging his dad and his sensei. Herobrine then comes out of nowhere, making a mess of the place, showing that there's lava under the ground. Both get into this big battle, but of course Herobrine is broken, to where he pushes the kid where it suggests that he's about to get game ended by Herobrine. But due to plot armor, he wakes up, smacks him in the face, and dips. Pissed, Herobrine starts throwing a bunch of fireballs but ultimately misses. He really needs to work on his aim. The kid goes, "I'm done with this," and goes straight at a fireball, knocking it back to Herobrine, which is just enough to get him dazed and he's able to game end him. Lore-wise, we don't get to know much of this Herobrine, besides that he's able to disappear and throw fireballs. I also can't forget him being all dripped out with his hood and little cape at the back of him. Blood Herobrine is a creepy story made by the YouTuber Lorecraft. In this story, he evolves the myth of Herobrine to something way more scary. It all starts with a builder named Blake, who becomes Blood Herobrine later on. Blake's goal is just trying to save his sick, dying mother. One night, while running from the mobs, he holds onto a healing potion that he hopes will cure her. But when he finally gets home and gives it to her, nothing happens. Out of options, he sets out across the overworld, searching for anyone who can help. Every cure fails, every villager turns him away, until one night, Blake meets something watching him, Herobrine. But instead of attacking, Herobrine makes him an offer. He'll cure Blake's mother, but only if Blake brings him blood sacrifices. Blake, wanting to save his dying mother, agrees, and by morning, his mother is healed. At first, everything seems perfect, but each night, Blake sneaks out to slaughter animals and leave them in the forest to keep his end of the deal for Herobrine. But eventually, Herobrine demands something worse, the blood of a villager. When Blake finally refuses to kill again, Herobrine destroys an entire village. And since Blake's part of the deal isn't fulfilled, his mother gets sick again. Blake does a forbidden ritual meant to banish Herobrine for good, but the spell backfires. Herobrine possesses him instead. Blake's body twists, and that's when Blood Herobrine is born. It's said that the first thing he did was return to his mother's cave. She begged for her son, called his name, and just for a second, he hesitated. But the hunger took over, eating her. From then on, Blood Herobrine wasn't just a person anymore. He was a curse that never stopped feeding. Now, this Herobrine had many versions, if I'm gonna be honest, looking kind of like Michael Jackson. But this Herobrine is nothing compared to the other ones we'll cover later. Up next is a Minecraft parody called The Herobrine, where the story focused on Herobrine being this dangerous threat. So it's way more different from the Fallen Kingdom Herobrine we saw earlier. So when getting into the video, this big explosion happens, and who comes out is Herobrine riding a zombie horse. What this Herobrine does is he jumps on these mobs, grabbing a skeleton and mind controlling him. But it wasn't just this skeleton, he did this to all the mobs around him. We get a first look at what this Herobrine looks like, with a dark red sort of armor, as if it was made in the nether, where it gives that nether-like vibe with his helmet having spikes. And the question is, what is this Herobrine's goal? Why is he doing this? Well, we'll find out later, cause it then cuts to this fat zombie with a crown, seeing Herobrine and all the mobs he took control coming to him. We get to the nether where we see Herobrine game ending this King Blaze, and if you remember that fat zombie, he talks to this boss looking skeleton where it shows that they're coming up with a plan to take Herobrine down. We then see 3 of these king mobs adding in an enderman, where they decide to meet Herobrine at this ruin. Now this whole warlike sequence happens, with the fat zombie growing in size, fighting Herobrine. Basically, Herobrine gets jumped by every single person there. Then the skeleton guy does his ult, which seems like he game ends Herobrine. For this variant, he causes some trouble, and instead of winning like Blood Herobrine, he just gets poofed. This Herobrine is similar to the Captain Sparkles one, but this Atlantis Herobrine is the sign of the downfall. Up next is Redstone Records Herobrine. This variant was created by Redstone Record. Even though their content has gone downhill, the Herobrine story they cover is still peak. Even though it is a Minecraft parody, it's one of those that does add some sort of story. We start off with the video Take Me Down. The opening shot shows Herobrine at a sand village at night, chilling with an iron pickaxe. wanting to completely mess up the whole village. He runs but walks into an iron golem. The iron golem then slams him onto the house, but Herobrine then goes full Thor and makes his pickaxe glow, summoning a thunderbolt, game-ending the iron golem. Dang, light work, no reaction. This guy might be pretty OP. With that lightning bolt, he's almost as worse as Hassan. Then for some reason, he turns the iron ingots the iron golem dropped and turned it into a diamond helmet? Okay, Herobrine here is breaking all of Minecraft physics. But what he should have done is make a diamond chestplate, cause he gets hit by an arrow by our boy Steve. Now both of them face to face with Steve pulling out his iron sword. He swings but gets hit in the balls by Herobrine. Then Herobrine ults and uses that thunder move on Steve. We then get hit with Herobrine brutally failing to lip sync to the song. Maybe he's emoting, I got no idea. Steve stands up and freaking turns to Entity 303? We'll get to learn more about this guy later since right now he makes no sense. He floats into the air and powers up an energy ball and goes full Kamehameha on Herobrine. But using his thunder thing, he stops the blast with his own beam. Man, this is so epic. But then we cut to Herobrine lip syncing again. Bruh. Then the video ends. We don't know what happened after the cut until we watch the next music video called Herobrine's Life. We cut to Herobrine at a cave. He passes a ton of mobs from skeletons, creepers, and this weird skin guy just mining a stone block. This Enderman then gives Herobrine an enchanted iron sword. We see this guy crying with ragdolled Minecraft players on the ground, and as you can see, it's the same sand village as in the video, telling us on the last video Herobrine lost. Then Herobrine gets all dripped out with the same diamond helmet as before, now wearing a mask and unique armor. Question is, what is he preparing for? Well, we're about to find out since we get onto the skeleton horse and cut to a village getting burned. And guess who it is? Entity 303. And as soon as we see him, he shoots 3 fireballs, game wrecking Herobrine. Entity 303, being a female dog, dips and starts reading a book for some reason. But nowadays, who reads? So Herobrine shows up and wants to throw hands. Now we get to this real epic battle where again Herobrine gets beat again. Except this time Herobrine does this whole power up thing with this lightning getting this massive power boost. Finally beating Entity 303, which if you remember is Steve. Honestly, such a weird story. This Herobrine variant comes from the series of Herobrine Had a Wife, which comes in 3 parts that we'll be looking over. The video starts off with Herobrine coming out of a cave, seeing this girl breaking this tree. He comes close to her and we see that she has white eyes. They fall in love somehow on first sight and Herobrine gives her cookies. After some questionable stuff going on, we find out these two for some reason get married just like that, with the priest announcing them husband and wife. It cuts to a black screen with white text saying, quote, "After a year, Miss Herobrine became a mother. But when Kid Herobrine was born, Miss Herobrine died, and Herobrine needed to take care of the child." Dang, that got pretty bad quick. We see Herobrine at the glass looking at his son with gray hair. Oh my goodness, Anyways, after Herobrine got caught, he runs after his kid, and they each have a heart-to-heart. Okay, my first thought is that a 13-year-old definitely had made this video and came up with this zesty stuff. And yeah, this is only the first part. We got 2 more videos we're gonna look at. Starting off part 2, Herobrine is shown at his wife's grave. They then show Kid Herobrine as a kid before the wife got game ended. So remembering all those fun activities with his families makes him cry and stuff. Herobrine then talks to the YouTuber Jerome, making this sequence like Herobrine has therapy. He talks about his problems with Jerome, where he explains that Steve was trying to game end Herobrine, but he accidentally shot Miss Herobrine with the bow. And now he's all sad about it. Jerome tells him to stop being a female dog and man up basically. We then get sent to a flashback showing how Steve game ended the wife Herobrine, where he set up on a tree ready to fire the bow. Then the wife Herobrine gets poofed with Steve running away. Now we get out of the flashback with Herobrine stalking Steve. They meet face to face once again. Both dudes start trash talking, with Herobrine saying you will pay for what you did. But Steve is a menace in this world, saying, not if I kill you too, like I did with your wife. Haha. Dang. That's cold, Steve. That's cold. They then get into this PvP thing with both of them throwing hands, but all of a sudden Herobrine wifes appear behind Steve, game ending him from the back. It then ends with them running to the sunset. Yeah, don't ask, just watch. This was Gen Z's brain rot before brain rot becoming a thing. Up next is the final part. We leave off with both Herobrine and the wife talking and relaxing, until someone rings the doorbell. The wife tells the son called Hero to come downstairs and get the door. They changed his skin completely, now getting blondish hair. The person being Hero's girlfriend, of course. Herobrine gets mad and tells his son he doesn't like his girlfriend. They get into this fight about Hero never being able to see his girlfriend again. Because of this whole thing, Hero runs away, writing a note that he will never come back and that he's happy with his girlfriend. But they ignore the note and find Hero. Herobrine then says he's sorry, taking back what he said, and then Hero and his girlfriend get married just like that. Yeah, this is the downfall since it takes everything that made Herobrine what he was. There's nothing scary, nothing interesting. Herobrine is just made into a joke here. Now, if you watch the Herobrine movie, you would think I'm crazy saying that there's a Herobrine in it. But there was actually a scene where the curly-haired kid with a sweater looks at the eyes of an Enderman. From there, he gets to this dreamlike sequence where everyone he knows has these glowing eyes. Then when we look at Steve in the movie, he has these glowing white eyes. It's Herobrine. Confirmed. Yeah. Since Steve here has some glowing eyes, it's official. He's Herobrine. Now this one I believe is a small Easter egg, kind of like how Technoblade was referenced in the movie. But yeah, really nothing special with this variant since the movie is trash. This movie makes Steve a joke, so it wouldn't do Herobrine justice if it was actually the character. Up next is Mom Herobrine. Now if you're cultured, you most likely have heard of this video. If Herobrine had a mom, made by the channel Mindbox. He gave us a baddie. Now our taste has kind of changed since the last few years, but it's still the same either way. At first, we got a person sleeping, but after hearing a weird noise, she forcefully wakes up. She investigates and finds the worst thing imaginable. A pig made a complete mess of the house, but it becomes a dream inside of a dream, waking up to her alarm. She gets herself ready and wakes up this little boy, which you can probably guess is little Herobrine, telling him to get ready for school since the bus will come and he'll be late. So she starts cooking some steak for breakfast and waits on Herobrine, but we haven't heard from him in a while. She then sees the school bus and immediately finds out what's wrong. She catches Herobrine sleeping. She forcefully gets him ready and starts slapping his cheeks. They both come outside, with her throwing him into the bus. Everything seems good, but something worse happens than a pig wrecking up her house. Herobrine forgot his lunchbox. At the school, Herobrine is learning some weird things until Herobrine's mom blows up the door, giving the lunchbox, and as a sign of thank you, he gives his mom a kiss, embarrassing him badly. We get to a different segment where Mom Herobrine is having a tea party at her house. She shares her cake with her guests, then for some reason that cake blows up. But out of all the Herobrines we covered, this one is the worst / cringe / joke yet. Chungus Herobrine. For this Herobrine variant, he was made from the channel Mr. Fudge Monkeys, or how he calls the channel, Mr. Fudge Monkeys. If you were in the golden age of Minecraft, you may have heard about this guy, but we're gonna be talking about one of his worst creations, that being Fat Herobrine. He made lots of videos about him, but under all that content farm is an actual linear storyline of Fat Herobrine. That series is called Fat Herobrine's Life. We're going to be covering 5 of these episodes, which are on average about 10 minutes. Oh my goodness, the things I watch for you guys. Anyways, let's get started with Fat Herobrine Life 1. At the start of the video, we go inside a place called the Smexy Box. Inside, we get some pig reading some books, and then we get to meet Fat Herobrine. This dude tries to go in the elevator, but Fat Herobrine is just taking up way too much space. He asks politely if he could move over, and this is what Fat Herobrine says.
No!
Then out of nowhere, Fat Herobrine just does this. Yeah, I can already tell what I'm getting myself into. Fat Herobrine arrives at the top floor and meets this mafia guy. Taking a seat, here we find out that the mob boss wants Herobrine to take someone out, paying him big bucks, aka diamonds, to do the job. But Fat Herobrine doesn't want that stuff. What he wants is a taco. After taking his payment, Fat Herobrine tries to come out the front door, but gets Stepbro stuck in it. One thing I like about this segment is the villager just takes a picture of bro stuck in the door. Anyways, he eventually breaks through the wall to get outside. He then harasses people and the video ends. First look at Herobrine is he is very odd. This is literally brain rot before brain rot, like I said. If you're over 20 and saw this as a kid, this is literally our skibbity toilet. Okay, enough of me yapping. We have 4 more episodes to go, and they just keep on getting more wacky. In part 2, we got Fat Herobrine running to a taco place called McTaco. A worker at McTaco sees Fat Herobrine walking up and calls him too fat. I mean special. So he opens a secret door to let him in, but this secret door then breaks, which gets Fat Herobrine pretty angry because he really wants to get some tacos. The McTaco worker tells Herobrine to go to the drive-thru and starts twerking for some reason. At the drive-thru, he stops. Then a cow in a car tries pushing him out of the way, but he's too heavy, which pushes back the cow. We then find out why Herobrine stopped. There's a bunch of big boned people blocking the way. But we don't need to go to the drive-thru since the door got fixed. Inside the store, we have Fat Herobrine ordering some tacos, specifically a supersized taco. This item costs 5 iron, but Herobrine only has cobblestone. He then hits the guy trying to cut in line, ending badly for him. The worker there tells him that no money equals no supersized taco. Herobrine asks how to get money. Worker says the J word. Herobrine says how to get a job. The worker then says a bunch of jobs and sniffs an emerald like crazy. I have never been this uncomfortable watching a villager sniff emerald. This villager then gets robbed and has his emerald stolen. The robber runs away. So the villager asks Fat Herobrine that if he gets those robbers, he'll give him half a taco. Fat Herobrine starts tweaking and body slams on the robber, returning them back to the McTaco. It ends saying to be continued. Fat Herobrine Life 3 starts off with that mafia guy we saw earlier. The same guy who wanted Fat Herobrine to game end someone. He tells these other players we don't know yet that Fat Herobrine is a weapon that they will use to take over the world. And what is Fat Herobrine doing? Well, he's stealing a kid's ice cream, going through trash cans to find some food. I think he forgot about the mission. This lady then throws a juice box at Fat Herobrine, making Fat Herobrine mad. And when Fat Herobrine gets mad, he gets even fatter. This chick, who I'm pretty sure was with the robber before, blames this dog tweaking holding a banana. But Fat Herobrine doesn't buy it and burns her and belly bumps her. We then cut to Fat Herobrine with Entity 303. He breaks the bench and the cops come, so Fat Herobrine dips. After running a while, Fat Herobrine comes across a convenience store where we see the same girl disguised in green leather armor who buys Herobrine a slushie. He starts drinking the slushie and gets a brain freeze. Due to that, he starts freaking out, even running into traffic, breaking cars. The cops show up again to stop Fat Herobrine. These cops are weird since the guy keeps humping the air. They try to take away his slushie and blasting him, but nothing's working. Fat Herobrine drinks all the slushie and goes on a rampage. Fat Herobrine Life 4 has Fat Herobrine walking at an alley and is about to get robbed, but the dude's attacks does nothing. Then, Fat Herobrine starts beating these goons up. Another goon shows up with a cool looking axe, attacking Herobrine, but he gets game ended by him too. Now we find out why this Herobrine is fighting these goons. We also find out Fat Herobrine can actually re-bloat himself, where he places TNT inside the control room, running away. After we get this like therapy session, which I honestly won't talk about, it always ends the same of Herobrine wrecking the place. Fat Herobrine Life 5. In the next episode, it asks the question, is Fat Herobrine a hero or a villain? We then got Herobrine confronting the police and those same goons that tried beating him. Then we get to see the most messed up scene in the whole series, with him absorbing one of the players. And it ends with Fat Herobrine riding a panda. That's just one of his powers. So that's how Fat Herobrine Life 5 ends off. And at the time of recording this video, it's been 4 years and no Fat Herobrine 6 has shown up yet. But there are many other little shorts if you want to watch it. But the thing is, Herobrine used to be so scary. We all remember watching those first videos of him when we were younger and even trying to summon him. And I wanted to make this video to relive the experience when Herobrine was scary. But now, since I grew older, my perception of him is like Fat Herobrine, where I can't really take the story seriously anymore. I guess it's part of growing up. Anyways guys, this is it for this video. Mr. B says you'll like this video, so peace!